Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Acupuncture's My Life. Now, in this episode, I would like to discuss certain symptoms that many of you feel globally and don't realize that these symptoms that you're experiencing are as a result of being sleep deprived. Many individuals would walk into the Acupuncture's My Life clinic here in New York City experiencing some of these symptoms, and the minute an acupuncturist here at the Acupuncture's My Life clinic in New York City asks or inquires about their sleep, boom, they're shocked that it's actually tied to the amount of sleep in which they're getting. And again, when it comes to acupuncture, we're not looking at symptoms as to what we should treat. We look to get to the root of your problem. Your symptoms to an acupuncturist are simply an indicator to give some type of direction as to where to possibly go, how to assess a person's constitution, because everyone's different. You know, it's never a one size fits all when it comes to acupuncture. Everyone is different. And here at Acupuncture's My Life, we understand that. This is why so many people have questions about acupuncture and learning ways in which acupuncture can help you either manage a disorder or how it can relieve you of that disorder. And this is why, I continue to tell so many people globally, simply download the app. It's free. You can message us and ask any questions or question you may have regarding acupuncture and a certain health condition. Just go to the Apple Store if you're an iPhone user, or the Google Play Store if you're an Android user. But back to the subject at hand, many individuals will experience some surprising symptoms that they do not realize it's tied to their sleep. And not just the amount of sleep, but the quality of sleep is very important as well. Because a person can experience certain emotional and mental disorders, physical pains or aches, and even put on a few pounds due to lack of sleep. Which of course can result, and I've spoken of this plenty of times in the past, can result in long-term health problems such as heart disease, diabetes. So it's important to prioritize getting a good night's sleep. And acupuncture is great for treating this disorder, that disorder being sleep deprivation, and allowing for you to get a good night's sleep. And sometimes it may go beyond needle protocol. It may also require Eastern nutrition counseling. It may require herbal formulas. This is why I say over and over, sit with an acupuncturist along with your annual visits, or even sometimes semi-annual visits to see your physician. Regular visits with an acupuncturist, regular wellness visits, can go a long, long way. Okay? individuals don't understand what sleep deprivation is. And it usually happens, again, when you don't get quality sleep as opposed to quantity. Because you can sleep between 7 and 9 hours. And then you wake up and you don't feel rested. Now, when that happens, you didn't get quality sleep. Now, you got the hours of sleep, but not the quality. So that's important. That's very, very important. So I want you to keep that in the back of your head. One of the symptoms, many symptoms, an individual can present with if they're sleep deprived is struggling to concentrate. It's super important because that'll affect your daily lifestyle in more ways than you realize. Not having that ability to concentrate. See, sleep is it's so important. The neurons that are in our brain, it needs time to recuperate. And it does this while we're asleep, especially in a deep sleep. So if we don't get quality as well as quantity as well, let me say this again. If we don't get quality as well as quantity sleep, required amounts of sleep, time-wise, these neurons become overworked and it begins to affect our cognitive behavior. And this will include concentration and focus. Another is, and this is food for thought, to give you something to think about. Put in the back of your head. Because many individuals will wonder, like, well, how come I can't concentrate, Doc? I'm struggling to concentrate every day. And it's affecting my job performance. It's affecting my personal life. And when an acupuncturist assesses you, they pick it up right away. They'll pick it up. It's due to lack of sleep. Another is just, are you always feeling on edge or feeling anxious? You're not getting that quality sleep time. Now, here's where quality comes into play, because we're looking at the deeper sleep stages. Now, the quality time at this point is being affected, and you're finding yourself on edge or anxious a lot. And when we're faced with mental challenges, sleep is the first to be affected. So when you're dealing with anxiety, any type of mental or emotional disorder, sleep is important. See an acupuncturist. And to get a deeper understanding, watch Acupuncture is My Life on Roku TV, Amazon Fire, or even Apple TV. We get into detailed discussions on mental and emotional disorders, just the human psyche, how it's treated with acupuncture, as well as sitting with a psychologist. We have a panel of experts where we discuss various disorders on these streaming services. So, again, if you have Roku TV or Amazon Fire or Apple TV, watch the Acupuncture is My Life channel. We get deep into this. Or these discussions relative to mental and emotional disorders. Now, do you also find yourself experiencing headaches a lot? I speak of this in past podcasts. That can be a sign of dehydration. Drink more water, room temperature water. Women should be doing on average 2.7 liters of water a day. And men should be doing on average 3.7 liters of water per day. But sleep deprivation can cause headaches as well. Why? Because recovery time. Our bodies recuperate, rejuvenate while we're asleep. And when that sleep time is affected, less time to recover, decrease pain threshold, headaches. You have to remember that sleep allows a person to recover and reset. Especially when it comes, again, to the neurons in our brain. Understand something. Health is wealth. The wealth isn't in the bank. It's not in the safe. It's not in your pocket. It's not in your purse. It's not under the mattress. It's not in the shoebox in the closet. It's not under the doghouse in the backyard. It's in you. Now, do you ever notice yourself catching a cold a lot, or sometimes the flu? It's not really flu season at the moment. Getting there. But if you notice yourself catching colds and sometimes the flu often, constant chest congestion, stuffy nose, could be a sign of sleep deprivation. Why? Because sleep deprivation makes you more prone to illness, such as colds and flu. And I've discussed this in the past. It affects your immune system. So, again, individuals can and would walk into the Acupuncture is My Life clinic with the flu or cold, and after careful assessment, some are made aware that it's due to lack of sleep. Another is pain. Oh my goodness, so many. My colleagues and myself, and when I say colleagues, I'm speaking of my colleagues, my global colleagues, who are acupuncturists from India, Australia, UK, Germany, Sweden, Spain, France, Beijing, China, Nigeria, South Africa, Canada, Brazil, Colombia. We discuss this a lot when we have our weekly virtual sit-down sessions, and it lasts a few hours. many individuals will come into the clinic, our clinics, and there's all types of pain. And after careful assessment, they'll be made aware that it's due to sleep deprivation. And as acupuncturists, we'll treat this disorder, and the symptoms usually clear right up. And many individuals are surprised, and they're like, wow, I wish I knew about acupuncture years ago. Well, guess what? This is why we do this podcast. Okay? Because when it comes to these pains that you're experiencing, again, poor sleep, whether it's quality, quantity, impairs pain inhibition pathways, allowing for your muscles to become more inflamed. And there you have your pain. This is why I say so many times, see an acupuncturist. See an acupuncturist for regular wellness visit. Acupuncture has changed many lives, many, globally. Another is, are you gaining weight? Here's a surprising fact. When we're asleep, we burn anywhere between 50 to 60 calories an hour. And this is relative to the average person. We burn 50 to 60 calories an hour while we're asleep. So imagine if you got 8 good hours of sleep, good, that being quality as well as quantity. You got 8 good hours of sleep. It's at least 400 calories. Okay? And we would have properly digested the food that we've eaten for the day. Understand something. When your sleep pattern is screwed up, you have to understand why it's best to see an acupuncturist right away if you're suffering from any of these symptoms. Because if your sleep pattern is screwed up, so becomes your hormones, especially leptin and ghrelin. Now, when you don't get quality sleep, ghrelin, which is your hunger hormone, and leptin, which is the hormone that suppresses hunger, becomes unregulated. And think about that. Think about what I just said. When I speak to you about yin and yang being in balance, the body's regulated, chi and blood is flowing harmoniously, the body can heal itself. The body can self-adjust, self-regulate at that point. Who balances yin and yang better than an acupuncturist? It's like saying, using the word homeostasis when it comes to a physician. So when these hormones become unregulated, you'll see it in the amount of weight in which you're putting on. And won't realize it because your intention would not be to gain weight. And as acupuncturists, we hear this a lot, especially in the Acupuncture is My Life clinic. Doc, why am I putting on so much weight and I'm not eating more than normal? As a matter of fact, I'm eating slightly less. It's our job to assess what's going on relative to your constitution. This is why I'm constantly saying, make acupuncture a part of your life. Because acupuncture is my life. What's yours?